Hey viewers and friends, horror fans, Andrew back again with another update. I've got some more Halloween goodies and some movies to show you guys, so let's get started. We're going to start with the Halloween related items first, and the first thing that I picked up in the past week is this little pumpkin boy plush, I guess you'd call him. He's pretty cool. I picked him up for $10 at Big W. They actually had two other designs. They had a ghost and then a witch, but I've always had a soft spot for pumpkin related things when it comes to Halloween, so definitely wanted this one out of the three. Pretty cute. I like him, holding a trick-or-treat bag, and he does play some music. I'm not going to play it now, I'm going to save that to the end of the video, so after the video is finished, or I finish the update, keep watching and you will be able to see this little guy dance around and play some music. The second Halloween related item I picked it up along with the pumpkin boy, is a door scroll. This was only $2, so I really couldn't pass it up, and this is just like the packaging. It's not the actual item. The item's a little bit too big to show on camera, but what it is that's what it looks like. So it's this fleshy guy busting out of a brick wall. Does look pretty cool. Unfortunately, it is a little bit too big for my door, so I'm going to have to find another way of displaying it, possibly on a wall somewhere, but for $2 I really couldn't pass it up, and it does look pretty cool. So yep, that is that. So they're the two Halloween related items I picked up. Now on to the movies. So I picked up one Blu-ray, which was an upgrade from my DVD, and the rest are DVDs. So the Blu-ray I picked up is of The Ring. This is the US remake. It's been years and years since I've seen this movie. I've watched it a couple of times, but it's been several years since I've seen it, and the Blu-ray just came out here in Australia and it was pretty cheap, so I thought, why not? From memory, I did enjoy this movie, and it's been a movie that I've been wanting to revisit for a while now, so picking up the Blu-ray has definitely motivated me a little bit more to check out the movie, so definitely looking forward to giving this one another rewatch. So that is The Ring on Blu-ray. Now onto the DVDs. First up we have a couple of slashers. The first one is an Asian slasher called Invitation Only. This film was done in Taiwan, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was a great little slasher movie, great cast of characters, really brutal and violent, some nice kills and some nice gore effects as well, and a pretty interesting storyline as far as slashers go. So I highly recommend this one. I do plan to upload a review on this movie at some point where I'll go more into detail on it, obviously, so stay tuned for that. But as for now, I definitely recommend Invitation Only. You can pick it up really cheap from Amazon UK, so I definitely recommend this slasher movie. It was excellent. Then the next slasher film, I've already done a review on it, so if you haven't seen it, definitely check that video out. But we have High Lane, which is a French slasher movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot more than I was expecting to, considering some of the other reviews that I had seen of it. But yeah, this is really good, and I definitely recommend it, especially if you're wanting something a little bit different and unique in terms of the slasher film. You really can't go wrong with High Lane, so I thoroughly recommend this one. It was brilliant. The next film is a film that I've been wanting for a while, and I kind of heard a lot of mixed things on it, so I wasn't really too sure what to expect, but I finally got around to ordering it, and that is Colin. This is a zombie movie that apparently got made for $70. Um, as far as I know, it's probably the lowest budget for a feature movie that's been released, as far as I know. So that in itself is pretty cool. I definitely wanted to check it out. That was kind of the main reason I really wanted to check out the movie, actually. Unfortunately, very disappointing. I didn't have an issue with the budget, but I just found they could have done so much more with the movie. It was really, really boring, pretty slow, and really uneventful. Not a lot happened. Kind of unique in terms of a zombie film because it was all done through the perspective of the zombie Colin, but yeah, I just didn't enjoy it at all. In fact, I thought it was pretty terrible. I really wouldn't recommend it, but just because of the such low budget, it's kind of worth checking out, I guess. So yeah, I didn't really like it, but if you're into really low budget movies, or you want to check out a movie that got made for $70, I guess you could check out Colin. Next we have an Asian movie called Confessions. Now, this isn't a traditional horror. I would sort of classify it as a psychological thriller slash horror. It was really, really good though. I enjoyed it. And like Colin, it's been a movie that I've been wanting to check out for quite a while. I haven't heard too many people ever talk about this film, but it's always been one that has interested me. So glad I finally own it, and it was really, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. Basically, it's told in 3 different acts during the movie, and the story's pretty interesting. It's about this I think it's elementary, or it might be middle school, school teacher. She finds out 2 of her students murdered her young daughter, and the first part of the movie is basically her confessing to the class that she knows that 2 of her students killed the daughter, and she pretty much blackmails them, and emotionally and psychologically sort of abuses the class in a way and sort of threatens them. And then eventually she finds out who the 2 killers were, and she sort of blackmails, that reveals the killer to the class, and pretty much just lets the class deal out the punishment sort of thing. And then the second 2 acts of the movie, or the second act and third act, follow the confessions and the perspectives of the 2 young killers. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a well done movie. I enjoyed how the story played out, and I definitely recommend it, especially if you are into the more psychological side of your thrillers or horrors. Confessions is really, really good, and I've never really seen a movie done like this before, so definitely recommend Confessions. It was excellent. Last, and certainly not least, I'm actually saving my favourite movie in this update for last, and that is The Clinic. Interesting little story behind this one. This was a complete blind buy. I pretty much knew next to nothing about the film, except for what the cover looked like and the synopsis on the back when I picked it up. I was in Big W the other day looking through their bargain DVD bins, and I really wanted to pick up a horror movie because it's been a while since I've picked any movies up from Big W, so I was hunting through them, and unfortunately they had a lot of good movies, but I already owned them. Then I came across the very last DVD stand I was looking at, came across The Clinic, and as I said, knew nothing about it. The cover actually drew me into it, and the fact that it had been selected for a couple of film festivals as well, and the synopsis sounded really good, so I thought, why not, I'll give it a go. Upon getting home, I found out that it was an Australian movie, so I was even more pumped to watch it. I have watched it, and this is a bloody fantastic movie. I absolutely loved it. I'm surprised no one's talked about this movie before, or at least I've never heard anyone talk about it. This is a fantastic horror movie and really, really original and a pretty unique and interesting idea. I really want to do a separate review on this film, so I'm not really going to go into too much detail in this update. But basically, it centres around a group of women. They were all pregnant, and basically they get kidnapped and they're housed in this like industrial warehouse thing. The babies have been taken from their womb. The babies are still alive, and it's basically up to these 6 women to figure out which baby belongs to who. There's a whole game behind it. These people that kidnapped them are constantly watching them on surveillance cameras, and they basically just let the woman, leave the woman to their own devices to pretty much decide what to do. Will they kill each other off? There's basically like this token implanted inside each of the woman's stomach with a colour, and the colour tag matches a tag that's on each of the babies. So yeah, basically that's sort of the main storyline. I don't really want to go into too much more detail other than this movie was phenomenal. I highly recommend it, especially to my Australian subscribers. Definitely get on this movie and support it. The director, James Rabbits, this was his first feature film. He did a short film before this one. I forget what it's called, but this movie came out in 2010, so it's really recent. But yeah, as I said, first time director for a full feature movie, and he did an exceptional job. This movie is so underrated, it's ridiculous. As I said, I've never heard of it before, but absolutely phenomenal. So definitely stay tuned for my review, which I should have posted in the next 2 to 3 days. But definitely look this one up, guys. It is phenomenal. I loved everything about the movie, and I really couldn't fault it. So yeah, out of every movie that I've shown, The Clinic is the one that I recommend the highest to check out. So yeah, well, that's been it for this update. I hope you've enjoyed it, and thanks a lot for watching. And before you go, I'm going to show the singing and dancing pumpkin boy.
Stops your heart.